is danger in our pants, in our streets, in our rivers, in our streams, and in our pants. I had a P1 email me and say, you need to look at this article immediately. Maybe it's best that you lost your ding-dong ring.
That's an unusual opening.
Yeah. I lost it. In fact, I've had a couple of emails about it. One P1 is getting rid of her CPAP machine. Now, I have a CPAP machine, as you know. But when we moved 2 years ago, I lost the carrying case for the CPAP machine. So now I just have to pack it loose when I travel.
It's embarrassing.
It is. Walking through the airport.
Like a shoebox taped together?
Yeah, well, yes.
Grocery bag.
Terrible. And then,
Like a tramp?
you know,
Hobo.
it's awful. It's awful.
How many hobos have CPAPs? Ever seen one?
Lucky ones.
Yeah, only the lucky.
You got to plug it into a rail car.
And I'll go through an airport dragging my hosing along with me and everything. It's terrible. I used to have a nice little carrying case for it.
Yeah.
But I lost it in the move. So a P1 emailed and said she's getting rid of her CPAP machine. She's beating it. She's beating it. She doesn't need it anymore. She's lost weight and no longer needs the CPAP. Hasn't used it in a while.
Good for her.
So I've been offered a gently used CPAP carrying device, CPAP carrying case. So I'm investigating that.
I think you need that.
They're not custom fit to each.
I'm wondering about that. Mine is pretty large. I've had it 10 years now, so it's a big, bulky piece of equipment.
Yeah, it needs wheels, doesn't it? The case? Pull behind it?
It's a pull behind.
That's what you need.
It's very nice. But the other emailer said, inside my carrying case was my device. Okay? It's a ring. It's a ding-dong ring, and it was inside the pocket of the carrying case of the CPAP machine. And AP1 said maybe it's a good thing you lost that because there have been now article after article of people having to have those cut off. And I saw it. Now, it was from London, but so many Londoners now have had to call paramedics out because they have rings in these places, and then they become engorged and stuck, and they can't get them off.
Are these the type of things that I can't imagine a reputable store. And I'm talking about your Adams and Eves and your Priscilla McGee's. These are the ones that you might buy at a vending machine in a pub, right?
Well, they didn't distinguish. But when I went and got mine at Adams and Eves, they had a whole wall of them. Now, I got a rubberized.
Did you get a quick release?
Yes.
I always say buy quality.
Well, I got mine.
You're going to want it.
Don't skimp.
Don't.
Yeah, it's going to cost you a couple extra $10.
But it's down there.
Yep.
Right. Mine was it's like a rubber band with a little vibrating device. It was great. I thought it was great.
Yeah. Battery operated.
And when the battery went bad, you just tossed it and bought a new one. Or unless you want to take it to your batteries, bulbs, and more.
The Battery Plus guy, he's going to fix it for you.
Yeah, let them,
They got gloves there?
Go
What
with it.
fits this? Ew.
It's lithium.
I need a new battery. Fast.
But the P1 sent me the article. These were all like metal rings. And,
yeah.
And those are, but I think that's the one, I think that's what most people use is a
Metal?
Well, we had someone that worked in the industry, and he sent me many, and most of them were metal. He's like, here, try this one, try that one.
But those are the kind that you can, whatever, you would think those pop off more easily if you need to in an emergency.
I guess you're right. But for whatever reason, these folks, and they were getting stuck on there, and they're embarrassed to call or go to the emergency room. And so they stay on there, and then it's impossible to become flaccid.
How thick is it's rubber? Not plastic.
Mine is rubber.
Yeah. So a scissor wouldn't cut it.
Oh, I think it would.
If you could just
weasel
it between
the flesh and the item.
Shaft and item.
That is
it's dangerous. Yeah, but you're engorged.
I know I am. But these metal ones, then you've got to get in there with like you got to get your welding equipment out.
And you want that or just a pair of shears?
I'm telling you. That is, it scared me off of it all of a sudden. I was ready to go back over to Adams and Eves, and that has scared me off of it.
Don't be scared.
So that's where I said danger in your pants. That's why I previewed it that way.
So that's it. That's the thing. You get cured if you lose the weight and you stop. You just know you can sleep better at night. How do you know?
I think you try it without. I've tried it without it.
Success.
I've lost some weight since I got the CPAP machine, but no success for me. I wonder if some people just have sleep apnea.
Yeah.
But I mean, as I gained weight, that's when it really affected me.
But you've lost a considerable amount. I mean, maybe it's your uvula.
It could be, but I still want. I think now Biggie has said now I've gotten so used to it, I just love it. I can't go to sleep unless I put it on. Mm-hmm. I'll just every night I saddle up.
You only have the latest technology.
No, I really don't. And the next time it breaks, remember my hosing broke that time. I had a tough time getting another one.
No.
I mean, it's not easy. My daughter knocked it off the nightstand the other day. My filter popped out.
Oh.
It's terrible.
I'm still getting the same message. I've reached the end of my usable life.
That's right.
And every night I said the same thing. One more night, little buddy.
Get me through
I'm
one
gonna
more.
need you one more night.
One more night. You got that?
Who's the CPAP
What are you
talking
waiting
to?
for? Medicare?
Well, they're harder. They're harder to get. You have to order them online. They're pricey. They're very, very expensive. That's
Insurance doesn't cover it? You can't get a...
Well, you used to have to, and people have claimed it's changed, but I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
They say, it used to be you had to pay like $1,000. I think I paid $1,100 up front.
very expensive.
Yeah, because
It's a small price to pay for breathing through the night.
No
Yeah.
doubt. No
Yes,
doubt.
yeah.
But
Exactly.
but mine still works.
Love that you're doing it on the cheap.
I like mine. And they say you can order them now on Amazon. Still pricey. It used to be, though, to get the insurance to pay, you'd have to go see a sleep specialist, a doctor.
Again?
Once a year I had to
Oh,
go.
the hell with that.
I went once a year for about 4 or 5 years, and finally the guy's like, you don't need to see me anymore. You've got your CPAP, all that. But when I stopped, I started going, when my hosing broke, I went to the medical supply place, and they wouldn't sell it to me anymore. They were like, you have to have a doctor's note for this. That's when I bought it.
To buy tubing?
They would not sell it.
That's a bunch of bull.
Well,
get that.
I know. And then I had to buy it on the black market.
Yeah, that's what you should do.
Remember, I went to that.
Ricky.
Yeah.
Out the back of the
Yeah.
trunk.
Yeah.
That the cutlass. The Oldsmobile cutlass.
Had all that tubing back there.
There's a dead body in there. I just move him out of the
Move
way.
out of the way. So what you want's underneath it.
Steve, you're talking about ding-dong rings and the danger of them. Go ahead.
Well, been a nurse for a long time, and we had a guy come into the hospital on a drug overdose, and he ended up getting intubated in the ICU. And the next day, they never took his underwear off, and he had one of those. It wasn't a ring; it was actually an eye hook that his partner was pleasuring with, and then he got engorged, and now they can't get it off. So they tried to use one of those jewelry cutters to get it off, but that only cuts, gold and silver. It doesn't cut a hardened steel shank.
Right.
So I was working the floor, and everyone knew that I was kind of a woodworker tool guy. So they called me, and I said, "You're gonna need like a Dremel with like a diamond bit or something to get this thing off." So they called the maintenance man. He said, "Well, I'm not cutting it off." So they got me to start. So I went to work. This guy's lying in bed, and I got to say, he was enjoying every minute of it until the heat from the Dremel started heating the thing up. And then he starts going, ouch, ouch, ouch. So we ended up getting a bag of saline and cutting the tubing and slow dripping the saline onto it
Yeah.
to cool everything down while I was cutting. And I've been a nurse for 30 years. It's still the coolest thing I've ever done.
That is an incredible story.
If that has not been on an episode of House
ER.
or Chicago Med, you're missing out.
What a
Or
story.
the good doctor.
My God.
You've seen those guys cutting concrete with the water coming out of the
Yes.
out of the thing?
Yes.
What a great idea.
That's how you do it. They figured it out. God, that's a great story.
That's ingenuity.
Thank you, Steve.
Dripping saline on it.
I love how they're like, well, get Steve. He's a woodworker. They're like, well, get maintenance up here, and everybody's got to look at it.
What are you out here, boys?
There's a party in my pants.
Katie, she knows something about this too. Katie, go ahead.
Yeah, so my husband is actually a surgeon, and he was on call really late one night, and they had a guy come into the ER, and he had a metal one, and it was actually stuck to him. They couldn't get it off, and he was engorged, so to speak. And he had been trying to get it off for so long that there was nothing they could do. All the blood that it rushed, it had cut off circulation.
No.
And unfortunately, the man lost his...
No.
No way.
That's real.
Yes.
That happened. Now, that was in this article. That's why the woman sent me the article. The P1 listener, she said, maybe it's a good thing you lost your ding-dong ring in the move.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you lost your ding dong.
That's right. That's right. She's like, maybe that was God.
That,
You know?
It
and
was
tip,
divine intervention.
Exactly.
Don't bring
Thank
me
you.
into this.
Thank you, Katie.
don't
Katie.
go metal.
Man, that was my thing. Because mine, thank you very much, Katie. Appreciate it. Even if it got stuck on, scissors would cut it off. It's a rubberized
Yeah, something
thing.
strong that
Let me
shearing
ask you
can take
this.
care of.
This is a hypothetical, 100% hypothetical.
Yeah.
Let's say you're using plastic, rubber, whatever it is, latex, whatever it is that those things are made of.
Yes.
But it's malleable, right? A
Yeah,
little
it
bit.
is. It is.
And you're in a situation.
Mhm.
Daddy's stuck.
Okay, right, yeah.
Does daddy have to cut it off? Does mommy? Or do you need to call in one of the children or an EMT?
Definitely not the children.
No.
I would say, I think I could do it.
You try it
I
first.
think I would try it first.
But you can't get at the angle sometimes because
that's a harder.
because it's right up on you, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
So where do you?
That's the
I mean, you
whole
go
point.
one way.
That's the whole
I think
point.
you need to make it a southern assault
Yeah, you got to come from the south
You're right. You're
because
right.
there's no room to.
to get your angle.
I mean, even if you're really skinny, you can't.
No, you're right.
You can't
And
jimmy it
I
in there.
can't. That's hard to do. My wife might have to do that.
because of the angle of the dangle.
That's right. The angle of the dangle.
I might have to have her
Wouldn't be dangling yet though.
she may have to crawl under the hood and
Move some things around the
One of those
undercarriage.
flashlights on her head.
like a spelunker.
Hang on.
I think I see your problem right here.
Here it is. I just can't get to it.
Anyway, I was so glad to get that article. That really it helped me. It made me think. Okay, that was meant to be. I guess, as we were just saying with Katie, it was meant to be that way. And I wouldn't use a metal. I think a metal one. I'm forget it.
Yeah, that heat that comes off of it.